If you're watching this video, then take it as a sign that 2026 is going to be your best year yet, and I have such a good feeling about it. I have such a strong feeling that 2026 is going to be such a good year for so many people, and I want to help you make sure that is true for you. My camera dirty. One of my favorite quotes ever is, if you fail to prepare, then prepare to fail. And honestly, sit with that for a second and let it sink in, because it is so true. The times when I feel most unproductive or when I have a bad week, it's when I haven't planned my week out properly, I haven't planned my schedule out properly, I'm just running around like a headless chicken. We are not going to be headless chickens in 2026. We're going to be organized, and we're going to make sure that we have the best year ever. And this isn't going to be in like a new year, new me, everything is changed, complete rebrand. No, we're going to be the improved version of ourselves, but we're not going to be a new me, we're going to be a better me. New year, better you, but still you, because you're great. You a year from today is going to thank present you so much for watching this video and doing all of this prep to make sure that you have the best year, because I cannot wait to hear from you this time next year to let me know all of the good things that you achieved, that you did, the fun things that you did, the achievements that you made. So cheers to you. There is nothing better than going into the new year with a clean slate, and take from that what you will, whether it is cutting off people in your life that don't serve you, things in your life that don't serve you. Go into 2026 knowing that you are surrounded by people, items, a routine, things that serve you and things that work well for you. We're not giving energy to things that we don't need, don't use, don't want, and things that don't serve us. Something I personally love doing, honestly a few times a year, I do this quarterly, but especially when it comes to the new year, I like to clean out my wardrobes, because I get a lot of stuff. I'm a full-time creator, I get things sent to me, I have PR sent to me, things show up that I don't know are turning up, which obviously I'm so grateful for, but not all of it are things that I use. Sometimes I have duplicates sent to me, so I like to go through my wardrobes, clean out makeup I don't use, skincare I don't use, clothes that I don't use, things that I bought 10 years ago that I don't wear anymore, things that don't fit me anymore, things that are too small, too big, whatever the case might be, I get rid of it. And it's really hard to do this sometimes. If you don't know this about me already, I've said it multiple times, but if this is your first video watching of mine, then I grew up very poor. Like very poor. We couldn't afford like the necessities, we couldn't afford like gas and electric, sanitary products. Like I grew up broke, like literally nothing, and I really held on to that almost like scarcity mindset of never letting go of things, even if I don't wear them, don't like them, they're old, they're a bit tatty, they're broken. And I'm the same with food. Like I will clear my plate even if I feel physically ill. I cannot let food go in the bin, because I grew up not having it, so there was no way you'd be chucking it away. And I think if you come from that background, or you've kind of had it instilled into you, whether it's the way you grew up or things that you've been told, it can be really hard to let go of things, and there can be so much guilt that comes along with it. But I'm here to tell you right now, you're not in that situation anymore. You are allowed to get rid of things in your life that you don't use. If you want to donate them to charity, that's going to let somebody else who might not be in the best financial position get those clothes. You can take it to a women's shelter, you can take it to a charity shop, and it's going to give other people the opportunity to use those things that you don't necessarily want, use, or wear. They don't fit you anymore. It's a great thing to do. If you want to do a wardrobe clear out and then replace it with some new bits, you can sell your stuff on Vinted as well. It's a great way to earn some extra money from it. I've personally sent all of my stuff over to Reliked. They deal with everything for me, and if you want to get some new bits, you can shop my wardrobe on there, and all of the money that is made from selling my clothes is going to the rescue. Can you see my babies behind me? I've got one here, there's another one behind this, you see his little ginger head poking out, and I've got another one on my lap. I rescue dogs from the meat trade, and all of the money made from my clothes being sold on Reliked is going straight to the big three, directly to them. I just realized I have no earrings and I feel naked. If it doesn't bring you joy and you don't wear it, then just get rid of it. And the same for skincare, makeup, old fake tan. Go through all of your drawers and realistically think, what do I use out of here? Because I had about 50 bottles of fake tan in my wardrobe. Why do I have that many bottles of fake tan? Like, what am I planning? Am I bathing in it? I don't know why I had 50 bottles of fake tan in my wardrobe, but I did. And I've cleared it out. The tan that's all crusty, that has like one pump left in it, like I've chucked it all out. I don't need 50 bottles of fake tan. I don't know what's wrong with me. Bit of a hoarder. And don't forget that makeup and skincare, it actually goes off. So if you've got makeup in your drawer that you've had for the past 10 years, I'm begging you, just check that it's still in date, because otherwise you're probably going to be doing a little bit of damage to your skin. It's not going to kill you, but it could make you break out. And would it really be the new year if we didn't have a little self-care day? I'm gonna put myself a little face mask on because that's the one thing I haven't done today. And I like to look at this as like a personal self-care reset. And this is going to look so different for everyone, but some of the things I like to do before the new year is I like to get a pedicure, I like to get a manicure, I like to go for a facial. I just love going into the new year feeling fresh. Clean house, clean mind, prepped, maintained body. It just makes me feel good. It's like that extra like pep in my step, confidence boost to go into the new year. And if you're not someone that likes to go out and like get your nails done, get a pedi done, I actually recently found this brand called Manicurist, and it's like an at-home gel mani. I've been doing it for the past few months because I've been that busy that I didn't have time to go to the salon. It literally takes me less than half an hour to do my hands and my toes, and it lasts really, really well. And it's like vegan and cruelty free, and it's good for your nails as well. So if you don't have the time to go to the salon, or you just don't like going, I know some people just find it so tedious to sit there for that long, then definitely check that out if you like getting your nails done. But I also love to have like an everything shower, scrub my hair, do a hair mask, do the full shebang, shave my legs, feel like a little baby fresh dolphin. I did some laser hair removal, face mask, all of it. I also like to tint my eyebrows. I'm naturally blonde, which everybody finds so strange, but I am, and my eyebrows are blonde and they look very strange when they start lightening up, so I love to tint them, just go into the new year feeling so fresh. And also you've got your New Year's Eve prep done and out of the way. And honestly, this is going to look different for everybody. A self-care reset day for you might literally be going for a nice walk, doing a meditation, doing some journaling, doing some reading. That might be your self-care day. It doesn't have to be like a physical aesthetics thing. For me it is. I love to get my nails done, I love to have pedicures and facials and stuff like that, but if that's not your gig, don't feel like you have to do it because social media tells you. I personally love washing my hair, doing hair masks, doing a scalp massage, doing all of that stuff. I really enjoy it, but if you find that tedious, if you find it boring, if you don't like doing that, then find a self-care day that serves you, that works for you. It doesn't have to be about skincare and beauty and hair care and nails. It can be something completely different. It can literally be going and doing something that brings you so much joy, that makes you feel so fulfilled, that you don't get to do very often. And the goal with this isn't to look different. It's not to have like a glow up or like glow up in 24 hours, completely change the way that you look. It's not about that. It's just about pampering yourself, treating yourself, giving yourself that moment of self-care, of self-love, and just seeing yourself and seeing who you are as a person, and doing things that serve you, that bring you joy, that make you feel calm, that make you feel renewed. This one might not apply to you, so stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Don't let me lose you. If you are a homeowner, or you have a house, an apartment, a bedroom, a shared bedroom, whatever it might be, a dorm room, you know what it is like when you have those niggling little jobs that you never seem to get done. Whether it's like painting over a scuff mark on the wall, fixing a door handle, cleaning the windows, dusting, hoovering behind that mirror, pulling the things out, mopping behind it, hoovering underneath the bed. Oh, put your hand up right now. I know. Let's all agree together there is something in your house, in your environment, in your home that you've been meaning to do, and you always say, I'll do it next weekend, I'll do it next weekend, I'll do it next weekend, and you never actually do it. Me for the past 6 months, honestly. Having a house is just a never-ending list of things that need to be done. Laundry, walk the dogs, bath the dogs, sweep the floor, mop the floor, hoover the floor, clean the windows, change the bedding, do the laundry, put the laundry away. It's never ending. Cook, clean, wipe the sides, clean the oven, clean out the fridge, do the food shopping. It's just, it's constant, right? It's just never ever ending. But some things I know we have on our list for so long. My wife has been asking me to put our new Hoover mount on the wall. My Dyson Hoover just like gave up on life, like literally gave up. My wife hates Dyson, I love it. We found one on TikTok randomly. Best Hoover I've ever used. What the hell is that about? I buy like a hundreds of pound Dyson Hoover. I buy one on TikTok shop. It's the best Hoover I've ever used in my life. And it's so lightweight and quiet. You could hoover around children, they wouldn't wake up. It's crazy. But she's been asking me to put this Hoover mount on the wall for weeks. Have I done it? No. It's been the lead up to Christmas. I haven't been screwing things into the wall. But I did it. I ticked it off my list. I got it done. And I know there is something in your home that you've been putting off doing. Even if you do one of those things, just tick off one thing. It's one thing off your list, one thing that isn't in the back of your mind. You're freeing up a little bit of mental space. Just do it for yourself. You're going to feel better. It's so satisfying ticking these things off. Make yourself a little checklist, because that dopamine hit when you check it off it's good, it keeps you going. So go through your house. If you've got a partner, you can do this together. You can do like one person upstairs, one person downstairs with sticky notes. Put sticky notes around the things that need to be doing, whether it's painting a scuff on the wall, fixing a hole, filling it in, putting a picture up, putting a shelf up, returning things that you've been saying that you're going to return and they're just in a pile by the front door. And if you can't do it yourself, then book a handyman or woman to come and do it for you. If it's something that you're like, I cannot physically do this, I need someone to help me, then go on freaking, I don't know, TaskRabbit and find somebody. If you're someone that spends a lot of time on your phone, guilty, this one is for you. Do a little digital declutter. The amount of texts, emails, phone calls, God knows what in my phone, that honestly, I think I have over like 100,000 unread emails. Who has that? That is insane work. The other night I went through, I deleted all my old emails that I don't need anymore. So satisfying. So satisfying. It's freed up my inbox. It got so bad that I could no longer receive emails to my email address because my inbox was too full. I'd never even heard of that before. I went through, I deleted it. I deleted WhatsApp conversations, text conversations. I cleaned up my camera roll, my editing software. I deleted apps that I don't use anymore. I deleted all my notes that I don't need in my notes folder anymore. I deleted voice notes that I don't need anymore. I just did a digital deep clean and just cleaned everything up, and it is so satisfying. I think we've all got to the point before where you can't even take a photo because your phone keeps saying iPhone storage is full. You can't even take a singular picture to add into that camera roll because it is bursting at the seams. So go through, delete things, put things onto hard drives that you don't need it on your phone anymore, old photos that you don't look at or need all the time, stick it on a hard drive, free up the phone. And it genuinely makes all the difference, especially if you work in social media or you use your phone a lot. It just makes it easier to navigate things. And I personally use a digital planner, and I also use Notion to like plan out my life. I have it on my iPad. So I went through there, I cleaned up my digital planner. PS, if you're a content creator like me, I do have like a digital planner for content creators, and I also have a Notion template for content creators. So if that's something that you want to get into in the new year, or you already are and you're struggling to kind of like schedule and plan your life, then have a look in the description. I'll put a little discount code in there for you as well. But truly, this is the time to do it. I cleaned out my digital planner, I planned out my week ahead. It just feels so satisfying to just clean it all out, start afresh, and just know that you're going into the new year with the best mindset, clean slate, and ready to hit the ground running. Last but definitely not least is reviewing your past year. This can feel a little bit daunting and a little bit scary, especially if you've not had the year that you planned or you feel like you didn't achieve enough. But you're definitely going to have a look at your year and find things that you've forgotten about, achievements big and small that you'd forgotten about by the end of the year that still deserve attention and still deserve to be celebrated. It's a little confidence boost. It makes you feel good about yourself, and it reminds you that actually you are capable of doing these things. But as well as giving yourself a pat on the back for achieving the things that you did do, whether that is literally surviving the year or getting out of bed more days than you did last year, no achievement is too small. There have been times in my life where I literally physically can't get out of bed. I haven't brushed my teeth for 3 days. I get it. I get it. If you've had a hard year, I understand. Do you want a little cuddle? Should we just have a little, you want to cuddle really quick? Let's just, I'm so proud of you. Life is hard, right? Like, life is hard. And we can have hard years, we can have bad years, but that doesn't mean that you have a bad life. And that is one of the biggest reasons I want to make this video and help you, because I want 2026 to be such a good year for you. Whether you've had an awful 2025 or an amazing 2025, 2026, we are going to top that. 2026 is going to be the best year ever. But I also think it's so important to review the year that you've had. If you've had a bad year, why was that? Were there things that you wanted to achieve that you didn't manage to? Was there a reason outside of your control as to why you couldn't achieve that? Or was it like you didn't have the motivation, you didn't know how to do it, it was an unachievable goal? Go through all of these things, journal about it, sit with it, have a look through your camera roll and just remind yourself of the things that you've done last year. And this isn't about bullying yourself or being mean to yourself or picking yourself apart and finding reasons why you didn't achieve your goals. This is about just kind of coming at yourself with some compassion and some empathy and just understanding, were these goals completely unrealistic? Are you currently living with parents and you set a goal to buy a £5 million mansion as your first home? Were they completely unrealistic, or were things kind of coming at you? Did you just have a tough year? Did you experience a loss? Did you struggle with mental health? Did you get fired from your job when you weren't expecting it? Lots of things can happen outside of our control, but I want us to focus on the things that kind of were in our control, because then that helps us learn from it and do better next year. One of the things that I found when I was looking at my 2025 is that the weeks and months that I didn't plan as well and have a set structure in place are the weeks that I didn't do as well, and I didn't get close to my goals because I didn't have an actual like plan of action. I had a goal, but I didn't know how I was going to get there, and that's something that I've really reflected on, and I'm not going to be doing that in 2026. I'm a strong believer in manifesting, but manifesting isn't just writing something down and never looking at it again and not making any actions toward your goals. Organization is something that I really want to be strict on in the new year, because looking through mine, I started taking Italian lessons at the start of the year, which was one of my goals, and about midway through the year I was finding it really difficult to keep up with the classes, to factor them into my schedule. I do have the time to do like an hour a week of Italian lessons. Let me just take this off. And the only reason that I was struggling to keep up with it is because I just wasn't planning my week well enough, so I was just kind of like scrambling to get things done. And I've also written down that I didn't stick to my habits, and again, that is because of poor time management and poor organizations. That is like my biggest takeaway. If you've got things on your review list, goals that you didn't achieve, things that you didn't do, things that you didn't do well enough, then take a look why that is. And for me, I also know that I really struggled with my mental health this year, like really badly, and I started taking sertraline, and I definitely started kind of like leveling off when I took that. So if you struggled with your mental health this year, maybe you can have a look at maybe starting a medication for it, speaking to somebody about it, going to therapy, finding ways to cope and deal with things so that it doesn't kind of like take over your entire life, because you're so much more than struggling with mental illness. And lastly, I just want to take a little look at my vision board. There are so many things on here that I did achieve. I can't show it to you because it's got pictures of like personal things that I did achieve on here, but I have like financial goals that I wanted to hit. There's a picture of a girl doing reformer Pilates on here, and I do reformer Pilates every single week. I even bought myself a reformer bed for my home gym. I've got a new vanity table on here, which I did do. There are like gatherings, like family gatherings and friend gatherings on here. I did a lot of that this year. Had a lot of socializing because I actually got married this year, if you didn't know. So I had like my hendies, I had friends around, we had lots of social events this year, which was great. There's actually a really funny picture in the bottom right here, and it's like a self-care moment, and it's a girl stood in front of a vanity with makeup bags either side of her, and I took a very similar picture earlier this year when I worked at the hotel. I have pictures of people reading on here. I have a dressing room on here, and I am expanding my dressing room at the minute. I've started working on my dressing room. There is like a Notion template on here, and like I said, I launched a Notion and a digital planner template for content creators, so I did that this year. And honestly, vision boards do work. I like to set it as my like laptop background and my phone background just to remind me, because the more you see it, the more it gets into your subconscious, and you end up like accidentally creating it more than you think. I've just noticed that there's a rug in the vanity picture as well, the new dressing table, and I've literally got the exact same rug in my bedroom right now, which is kind of crazy because I didn't even notice that until I looked. And you might have things on here that you don't want anymore. Like you might be looking at this vision board and there's something on there like a car that you don't want anymore, or a job that you don't want anymore, and that's fine. Like goals can change. Don't feel like you have to be tied to something. So that is it for my 2025 reset, rebrand, prep video. And if you want to do a little bit of vision boarding and planning and speaking about habits and how to make achievable goals, I'm recording a full podcast episode on that, so I'm going to link the podcast episode in the description. And in that I'm going to go into like how to build a vision board, how to set habits, how to set goals that are actually achievable, and kind of figure out ways that you can actually get there, like step by step, instead of just saying like I want to be a millionaire with no steps on how to get there. We're going to make like actionable, achievable goals. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and 2026 is going to be such a good year. If you don't already follow me on TikTok and Instagram, please do. I'll be posting more over there, and don't forget to listen to the podcast episode if you want to like plan our 2026 together. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's like my favorite thing to do. We've done all of like the hard work now to get everything set in place. We're fully prepared, and now we get to make our dream life for 2026. I'll speak to you soon, and Happy New Year.